Unfortunately, some think women are made for the home and not much more. Andrew Tate is one of those people, but with the bad, there is also the good, and Jake Paul has spoken against Tate's views on many social platforms. So how did Andrew Tate become famous when he has maintained terrible opinions about women? Why are Jake Paul and Andrew Tate about to get into a fight? How did talk about a fight even happen? First up, how does Jake feel about Tate? Paul has slammed Tate's views, but at the same time, he said banning him was a form of censorship. Tate was banned from Twitter. I don't believe Andrew Tate should be banned. I think freedom of speech is super important, and I think private companies should give people like him a second chance. But I don't think he ever gets into the ring and risks his alpha male appearance to fight Logan or me. Andrew Tate, you're scared to get into the ring with one of us. Jake Paul has been very open about his dislike for Tate. He also said, I don't roll with Andrew Tate. May KO his ass out in the ring one day soon, but I roll with freedom of speech. Was Tate's ban the right move, or is this a violation of freedom of speech? Next up, how does Tate feel about Jake Paul? Tate was asked about Jake Paul on a YouTube channel by Rob Moore. Tate described Paul as, I think Jake Paul is a man who is very dedicated to his craft. He's not just a YouTuber, Jake Paul is a boxer. He spends his life training, he has a lot of time, money, and resources. So the idea he is just a YouTuber is foolish. Jake Paul is a boxer, and he's certainly the best of all the influencers fighting today, hands down. Interestingly, he talks about him in a favorable light, considering what Paul has said about Tate. Do you agree with Tate about Jake Paul? And now we have, how did a talk about a fight between Tate and Paul even happen? Tate is someone who's up for a fight and not one to back down from a challenge. Tate has a large following, so if this fight were to take place, the assumption is that it would be a massive draw card. Tate has a boxing career and started kickboxing in 2005, but he did not get far in the sport or go professional. Jake, on the other hand, is a pro MMA fighter and has a 100% win rate. Jake and his brother Logan have different views on fighting him. Logan, Jake's brother, said he wanted to fight him, but he doesn't want to have to give someone like that more of a platform than he already has. However, Jake is quite eager to hit Tate, presumably in the face. Jake, being a boxer, was controversial as most people thought he did it for fame, as he got his start on social media. However, he turned out to be a good fighter and won every fight he has had. So he and Tate in the ring would be interesting. Paul was asked in an interview if he would fight Tate. Paul said, I was like, oh, that's Andrew Tate. But what I'm saying is that, Andrew, if my brother doesn't F you up, I will. Is Tate scared to get into the ring with Paul? Moving on to, is this fight even happening? All suggestions point to a yes. Recently, a video of Paul and Tate was shared on social media with the two of them facing off. The caption below the video said, negotiations. A rep for Tate said yes, they are negotiating with Paul about a fight. They have said a fight is what the fans have been asking for and an event the world would remember. Although they are negotiating, no other details have been brought forward about the potential fight. Both think this will gain a lot of attention, but Paul's last fight against Anderson Silva only had around 250,000 pay-per-view purchases. He said the turnout was disappointing. Tate does have a distant record in kickboxing with 76 wins and 9 losses. However, in MMA, he has only 2 wins and 1 loss. In contrast, Paul has a 6-0 win-loss ratio. Would you want to watch a fight between these two? Next, why does describing domestic violence against women not land Tate in jail? He has said many terrible things about women online, to the point where he has even described how he would hurt a woman. Tate said in a video, I'll bang out the machete, boom in her face, and grip her by the neck. Shut up, bitch. He says in one video, acting out how he'd attack a woman if she accused him of cheating. In another, he describes throwing a woman's things out the window. In a third, he calls an ex-girlfriend who accused him of hitting her, an allegation he denies, a dumb. But not only has he described hurting women, but he's also boasted about actually being physical with a woman and described in detail. Tate said he hit and choked a woman, damaged their belongings, and banned them from going out, yet still he is a free man. And next, sadly, many have watched his videos and he's famous. Those from the domestic abuse charity say that his behavior could radicalize men and boys to commit terrible crimes against women offline. This man became famous in the obscure corner of the dark web, and he has videos that have been watched 11.6 billion times. He describes himself as a self-guru, giving men tips on making money, getting girls, and escaping the matrix.
I want to go back. What was your first job?
I worked in a fish market carrying boxes of fish.
Do you remember how much that paid you?
Fish.
From out of nowhere, this man was barely mentioned. Then Tate became one of the most talked about people in the world, even to the point that in July he was one of the most popular searches on Google, surpassing Kim Kardashian and Donald Trump. Tate's rise to fame was strategic. He asked his supporters to post videos of him on social media by picking the worst ones to get the most views and discussions. This tactic worked. His army of fans made copycat TikToks, giving him the attention he needed. Many say it was a blatant attempt to manipulate the algorithm to get people to notice him. In just under 3 months, he has boosted his following with 127,000 members. These people pay €39 a month to join their community. Sadly, they are young men and boys from the UK and US who could be easily influenced and believe what he is saying. Moving on, but did TikTok keep him on their site? Even though he has broken all the rules, his copycat accounts and misogyny TikTok took a long time before they took any action against him. They have let his message spread at an alarming rate by allowing copycat videos to appear on their platform. His content on the dark web has now gone mainstream for everyone to see. Tate maintained that many of the accounts are not from him, but from people using his name and photo. The videos on TikTok are more of a self-help guide to men and tell men what they should and should not have as men, not so much about abusing women. So, regarding their guidelines, no one is breaking the rules except for the copycats, who have reused his image and his name multiple times, even though that is against their policy. Those that support him say that they follow him because of his straight talking. His supporters also like how opposite he is to the cancel culture. But his views on women are well known and not hidden. TikTok eventually banned him, but that didn't stop his supporters from creating at least 20 new accounts, all of them with 10,000 subscribers at least. Their mission is to spread Tate's videos. Finally, has Tate ever been convicted? Tate has only been charged once for a driving offense he committed in 2018, but not against any violence he has boasted about. Women have accused him of hitting them, but no charges have been brought forward. In a recent interview, he says he accidentally broke a woman's jaw after she knocked his phone out of hand. Another man hit him, and then they got into a fight when the accident happened. He has, however, been questioned by police for hurting a woman, even though he says it did not happen. During his time, he was held for 2 days. His electronics were confiscated and his house was raided. Tate supposedly left the UK for Romania. He shared a video saying that it would be easier to avoid rape charges that way. In one video, he says, "I'm not a rapist, but I like the idea of just being able to do what I want. I like being free." I am sure some murderers feel the same way when they are sitting in a jail cell. He believes he is misunderstood and not the villain that everyone thinks he is. He has described the backlash as being unfairly vilified. Do you believe him when he says he's being treated unfairly, or is he playing the victim card? We hope you enjoyed watching this video about Andrew Tate versus Jake Paul's fight build. So what do you think? Please leave your comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.